female teacher has been forced to apologise for saying good afternoon girls at an all-girls school after being told that not everyone identified as female. One pupil stood up and challenged her to acknowledge their pronouns. So is education now institutionally woke? Anne Widdecombe joins me. And your reaction to this story, please.
Well, absolutely ludicrous. It's one of those stories that you can't really believe happened. This is a girls' school. Now, we have to assume, therefore, that they advertise that they're a girls' school, that they take in pupils on the basis that it's a girls' school, and yet you can't address them as girls. And I wouldn't be surprised if the odd pupil had complained. What appalls me about this story is that the headmistress made the teacher apologise, came in, stood with the teacher and humiliated her, basically, in front of the class. And for what? And for what? For saying, good afternoon, girls. Now, that has reached a very silly level indeed, and my belief is the governors of this school ought to sack the head.
Well, perhaps that should be considered. We've always feared that the public sector was institutionally woke, but this is an independent private girls' school, so it suggests a wider culture within education, Anne.
Yes, and probably, I don't know, but probably they're members of the Girls' Public Day School Trust. Note the word again, girls, you know, girls everywhere. And apparently that's fine and that's acceptable, but the instant a teacher addresses the girls as girls, that isn't. It is a nonsense. It is in the private sector as well. And this is all the fear factor. You know, the fear of social media, the fear of being criticised. This is the fear factor playing in and just destroying common sense. And if I were a parent at that school, I would now be considering withdrawing my child. I would just say it's too big a nonsense.
And do you think this has to be dealt with at a political level? I'm sure you will support Rishi Sunak's comments recently that 100% of women don't have a penis.
Well, absolutely. I mean, the only thing I find amazing, and I said this at the Reform annual conference, I mean, the only thing I find amazing about that is it was actually worth banner headlines in a high circulation newspaper that the Prime Minister believed that a woman didn't have a male appendage. I mean, I just cannot believe that that is newsworthy. We are going absolutely bonkers. And I think there does need to be a political solution. If you can't get these things managed through common sense, then regrettably, because I'm not one of those who says, if it moves, legislate. I'm not one of those. But I do think that you're going to have to legislate here to protect teachers and to protect children.